Hello, folks, and welcome back to Four Corners of the Galley. I'm your host, PBO, and you're joining me on another edition of Totally Bingin'. Not just any Totally Bingin', this is a special edition. This is the weekly breakdown of Atlanta Robbin season. Not season 2, Robbin season. So each week we're going to do a weekly recap, review of the episode, and move on to the next one, kind of what we'd like to see from the next one, or just maybe what's going to go on, and just go from there. So let's start it off. So this is Atlanta Robbin season, episode 1, Alligator Man. So we kick back off with the boys, and we meet up, starting this new season, basically on a nice tracking shot. And we're tracking this individual, and we have no idea who this guy is, and we come to find out that it's a dude basically going to see his homie at his house before going to work. They spark up a conversation about just total nonsense. It kind of seems like they're talking about Paperboy. I don't know. I might have to re-leak into that. It seemed like they were talking about Paperboy, talking about some whack rapper that was once a doorman and talking a different way, and now he's talking gangster and he has no bars. So basically they're just having a conversation. Dude tells him he needs some gas, which I assume is some marijuana, some weed. I got to get that Atlanta lingo down. I got to really figure that out. I don't know what that definitely seemed like it. Seemed like he was trying to pick up an eighth or something, and he told him we can go down to the local chicken spot, and they got it, and they hook it up, and they in on it. And he's like, weird? He's like, yeah, let's go check it out. So basically that's how this adventure starts. They go on their adventure, going to go get some food, and I guess pick up a little something for them afterwards, and you just think, basic thing, they just going to go pick this up, and you kind of get introduced to this whole thing. So they pull up to the drive-thru window, and the manager's there talking to his employee. He rolls up to the window about to hand him the bag, and the next thing you see is these two dudes masked up, guns out, robbing the joint. Basically, they set the tone from the first 5 minutes of this show. They're letting you know that season 2 or Robbin season is totally different from the first, and we're going to go on a wild ride. Then you have this great basically armed robbery ensue where the guy runs in trying to look for this stash, finds the stash closet, ends up picking up look like a full brick and baggies, and just when he thinks he's about to get out, the manager rolls up with the AK-47 and starts blasting on him. Oh man, what a great little fun introduction. I mean, it was not fun in a way, but it really shows you how it truly really is in the hood and how things are. So they have this little basically a shootout where the manager's chasing him down. Somehow this guy misses on every single shot he's got with that AK. He gets in the car. They're about to get out. Manager rolls outside, starts spraying the car, and then out of nowhere the car stops, and then a girl just pops out of the back seat screaming and crying because she got shot, and they just drive off, bone out. It's like, wow. So in all of 5 minutes, they basically show you that this is a new season and that innocent victims are going to be hurt in the process of this way of life in this Robbin season. I mean, it's very, very distinct and powerful right off the back, letting you know that innocent bystanders will be hurt going forward. So they hit you with that. We haven't even met the guys yet. That's a straight cold open, and then they go straight into the Atlanta Robbin season promo, and bam. Now we meet up with the guys. And we meet Ern, basically, where we left him, where we find out that he's got a little storage unit where he's been keeping all of his personal belongings, and he kind of basically lives in this storage unit. And that's what we find out in episode 10, the jacket of season 1, and that he was looking for his keys to that place, and he outsmarted himself and gave it to his boys. That was cool. So, but basically, it starts off with one of the employees is raising up his storage bin and kicking him out, and it's like, you gotta go. And they have this little dialogue. He's like, nah, man, you gotta auction off. He's like, yeah, that's I've seen storage wars too, but this is something different. This dude ends up taking looks like his pants, some of his clothes, just jacks him. And Ern starts off, basically what I see as this whole episode's big overall theme for the first one, which is basically Ern's worst day ever. I mean, Ern goes on this wild adventure from the start of being woken up by this dude stealing his stuff and bouncing to just full on going for it. So definitely a good start to the season. It definitely is a little slower than season 1, because season 1 starts with a huge bang on episode 1. You got that big pivotal moment, and then it jumps ahead to the events that happened that day, where this one, they're kind of table setting for the first half of the episode, and they're putting people back in their places, and they're showing you where everybody is and what's going on with them. So then Ern shows up at Al Paperboy's house, and he starts to conversate with him, and you come to find out that Al Paperboy is now on house arrest, and he can't go nowhere, so he's got the bracelet on, he's on house arrest. Darius is over there doing his thing in the kitchen, telling him let's get some sliders, and Ern basically walks in on this awkward situation that he has no idea what's going on. And the way I see it is, it's basically like a mom and a dad having an argument, and Ern's a little kid stuck in the middle, and the mom and dad won't tell you what they're arguing about, just basically in the same room arguing, and have the respect to not be loud to the other person, but just basically like ignoring them that they're in that room. And it's really funny. Ern's trying to figure out what's going on. One of Al Paperboy's girls shows up, and he calls her by the wrong name. I mean, Ern's just on a roll, getting the stuff evicted, calling one of his cousin's girl by the wrong name, having to re-explain himself. He gets out of that only for Darius to basically give him a ride to his PO. But what I have seen that I think they figured out is that when you put Darius and Ern in the same car and put them in a car ride, that is pure gold. They had a great little adventure in season 1 where they go off and Darius is trying to help Ern flip his money and really get more money out of it because he knows he needs money. And on this one, it's just a totally awkward situation. Darius in there blasting some rock music, and Ern's just like, what's going on, man? You good? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. He asks him about Al. He's like, you and Al good? I don't want to talk about it. You got to talk to him. Give me that classic, like, he's not going to explain to him. So they have this great dialogue going back and forth. You end up at the PO, and the PO is treating Ern like he's trash, like he's selling weed all his life or selling drugs. He's like, look, man, I had half a joint. She's like, that's nice. Tells him you got to owe him some more money, and on goes Ern on his many more adventures. So this man's lost his place. His boys are fighting, and he's stuck in the middle, has no idea. He has to go to his PO. He messes up on Al's girl. I mean, he's just starting this snowball effect. So you come out of that, and Darius and Ern are having the great discussion about Flaming Hot Cheetos. And as maybe some of you might know, they're actually doing a story and a movie about the story of the Flaming Hot Cheetos, so maybe we get some better answer. But I mean, what Darius gives him with his best explanation, hot, and he goes, yeah, definitely hot. I thought that was awesome. Great little moment they have back and forth. So then he gets a phone call from Paperboy Al, and he tells him to go check on this house, and he's like, all right, man. You can already see that he's still being kind of Paperboy's everyday manager / errand boy / whatever he needs done, while Darius is like, kind of his maid / chauffeur and everything else that Paperboy needs. So this is when the episode really starts to like take its turn. They've already set everybody up. They show you that Darius and Al are having a fight, and they don't really want to tell you what's going on. They're just having a little war. Then Ern's having one of those worst events ever. He's going through hell, and he's trying to figure out where he's at, while also trying to figure out it looks like a place to live at the night. He's getting thrown all over the place, and now he's got to go check on. This other spot and go check on Yvonne, who's supposedly calling the cops because she's being held kidnapped by Willie, who you come to find out is Uncle Willie. But the best thing that happens also while they're on this drive to Uncle Willie's house, basically, is that Darius comes out of nowhere and asks him how his parents are doing. He tells him, oh, they're off to Florida, and he goes, oh, oof. He goes, better watch out for that Florida man. And I just thought this was so smart, because all around the internet, you hear all these crazy, wild stories that come out of Florida, and they literally all say the same thing. A Florida man has stumped into his house and killed all of his family and then turned the gun on himself. Florida man is eating a body. I mean, they completely embellish on the voodoo and the craziness that happens in Florida. And I'm 100% with them. I have never been to Florida, but just alone on the stories on the internet, the things that happen, you can keep your Florida. I'm good. Florida man, you stay over there because come out of there. So I really love this whole Florida man joke that they really keep going. So they get to Uncle Willie's house, and this is when the show basically goes up a notch. Then you get introduced to Uncle Willie, and it's none other than the great Cat Williams. Cat Williams is an absolute hilarious comedian. I was seriously impressed by this performance by Cat Williams. I felt like he gave something that I have never seen him give in any of his movies like that. I don't know if he's never been given this role or this opportunity, but he showed depths that I have never seen from him. And this was the role. Instead of him just being the wild, loud pimp, from Friday After Next, or being in Norbit, or, Open Sunday, or Sundays First, and, the little movies he's in where he kind of plays the same kind of character. He really got a different role, and he really used it and embellished. I mean, he did a fantastic job in this role. So you meet Uncle Willie. He's telling Ern that, yeah, you know, that this girl Yvonne, she stole $50 from me and I don't play that game and yada yada yada. And he's like, they're having this whole discussion and talking, and then Ern hears this sound from this door and he just kind of gives him this look and he doesn't have no idea what's going on. And so he's like, give me the keys, man. He's like, man, I have to check it first. He's like, the keys are right there. So he ends up giving the keys. He goes and talks to Yvonne, finds out she has not called the cops yet, but he's trying to de-escalate the situation. What we come to find out is this is Al's house. I guess Al owns his house, and he's trying to keep everything on the up and not have no issues, so he can't get brought any more heat for any of his nonsense. So he's trying to decompress the situation. Yvonne's obviously a local friend that comes over and helps satisfy a man for his needs, so they had a little dispute. But in the midst of all this arguing, you come to find out that he has an alligator inside of his bedroom. And I mean a real alligator inside of his bedroom. And the reaction that Donald Glover Ern gets when he finds out there's an alligator is some of the best stuff. Then it just goes another level when the cops actually do show up. And then, you know, Uncle Willie refuses to come out because he's telling the cops, no, I'm not coming out of my house. You ain't coming out there. He goes, man, we're going to make you come out. He's like, man, I'm going to let my alligator loose. He exchanged between them, the kids in the background, and he got an alligator. I mean, it completely changes the dynamic of this episode. It becomes a whole nother level. And then you have the great funny jokes where everybody's coming up to the door and doing their different things, talking to the cops and leaving at different points. It is an absolute hilarious sequence. Cat Williams merged that role as like the older mentor / just old head, just dealing with craziness. And then the end result is basically they can't convince him to come out. So he opens the door and sends the gator out, and the gator protects it. And you get this great shot of Cat Williams putting Uncle Willie going out the back and running down the street. I couldn't stop laughing. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. One of the best just crescendos to the episode. I mean, what a great isolated event and thing they created. I think that was absolutely hilarious. The first part, yeah, it's a little slow because they're building up the story and they're putting everybody in their place. But when they get to Cat and Uncle Willie, man, that just gets to a whole great part. So all that happens. Uncle Willie ends up giving him this big old bright gold gun. And then he's like, what am I going to do with this? He's like, man, you're in the rap game. Take it. I swear that's from his... it seems like that's from his American Hustle comedy stand-up that he was walking around with that thing. So he ends up going back at Al's Paperboy's house, and he's there, and you know, he pulls out the gun. They start laughing at him, talking about, you took that thing out with 12 around you? And he's like, yeah, that gold thing. And they clown him because he's got a gold gun, and obviously you can't have no gold gun in the hood. They're going to know who you are. Instantly, you pull that thing out and shoot someone, everyone's going to know that you're the one with the gold gun. And then the best part, so Ern thinks he's finally got over this wild day. He's dealt with alligators, PO, he's dealt with people that evicted him out of his thing. Lo and behold, some dude named Tracy pops up behind him. He's like, who's this? And oh, it's my boy Tracy. He just got out. Tracy already got a giant bowl of cereal, and what's he do? Go plop himself right on that couch. Ern's like, you staying here too? He's like, yeah, man. What are you, the landlord? He got this great thing, and man, you could just see Ern's just like, all right, that's it. I'm done. This day's done. He steps outside. He takes that deep breath, so you can see him take that deep breath, and he just goes about his day. I must say, this was definitely a hilarious start to the season. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was great. It was just a tad bit slow in the beginning because you're trying to figure it out. I mean, the first part is a little hard, but they definitely are showing you that this is Robbin season. This is going to be unexpected, crazy. I really hope you guys are enjoying this breakdown review of Atlanta Robbin season episode 1, Alligator Man. I do got some other videos. If you guys want to check out a review, a recap of Atlanta season 1, I got that right here. Also, I'm doing a weekly recap of Unsolved, the Murders of Biggie and Tupac, and I got episode 1 right here, Where It Leads, episode coming out next week, Tuesday. I'll recap and review that afterwards, and I'll see you guys next week. All right, until then, good night, Ted.